Hello everyone, my name is Mystic. Welcome to my first video on 3D texturing. Yeah, basically tileable objects and stuff like that. In this one, we're going to make a little wall. But before I do so, you guys, the people who don't have it yet, check out this website. It's called xnormals.net, and this is basically the program that I use for making normal maps. I'm not saying Blender is bad for doing that, but I prefer to use xnormals. So you just go to this website, you go to the download, you select which one you want. It's about 64 megabytes in size, so it's not that small, it's not that big either. But yeah, so that's the website. Also next to that, as you can see on the bottom bar, if I do this, you can see that I've got a little free website try thingy up and running. This is basically the location where I'll be putting all my tutorials with a little image. I will be doing more tutorials on this website than on YouTube, because for YouTube that's basically the main stuff, and time lapses and things like that. Also with time, for now it's just a bunch of thingies, but with time I will add in documents with the tutorials written down, so you don't need YouTube then. You just have the document which you can download and use to follow the tutorials with. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to close this and I'm going to start the first tutorial. Unity and xnormals can stay open. Okay, so I'm going to delete this and this. Keep in mind, this is going to be not really that long of a tutorial, but I will take some shortcuts and I will tell you how to do it completely right. I'm sorry, I have something on my screen. I need to get rid of it. Get lost. Okay. So what is the point of this tutorial? Let's say sy, 0.2, 0.1, sy 0.1. This is basically our wall. And the thing is, in a game, when people make games, they want to have their walls going like this. So you can just click and drag, and now you have 3 wall pieces. So that's what I'm going to do now. This is our basic wall. I am going to texture it. Come on. So I'm going to select the edges for the normal mapping. There. I think that's fine. Yeah, okay. Mark seam. There we go. So we have our little wall with the marked seams. I'm going to unwrap that already. You unwrap. Scale is not uniform. I think that was Control I. No. Control N. No. There was a button for that and I forgot. Shift E then. No. Once I get the button, I'll tell you. It's not that one. Not that one either. Come on. W. No. No. Okay, so I forgot the shortcut. What's it called again? Apply object transform, scale. Okay, so apply the scale, and I did that wrong. I duplicated it. So spacebar, apply object form, scale. Okay, so now normally if I go to the unwrapping, you can see it turns up nice. There was a shortcut for doing so, S.9. Just make sure that it's a little bit smaller than the object, than the painting thingy. Grab Y, I want to make it so it's nicely in the middle, like so. Okay, so this is going to be our normal map, and our texture paint map. For the texture paint, that's going to be fairly easy to do. We need XNormals, and you need some paint thingy like Photoshop or GIMP to do that. But yeah, basic wall. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to export it as an OBJ file. I'm going to do that to my desktop. I'm going to call it wall LP, like low poly export. And now we can start on our other wall. So I'm going to create our high poly wall. I can close this. Do make sure that you did unwrapping first before you export this. SZ.5, S.5, 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 like so. This is basically going to be a brick. But we all know a brick doesn't look like that. A brick is different. SY.5. So yeah, this is our brick. Make sure that it sticks out just a little bit, not too much. And now we need to go into texture sculpting mode. Again, we need to apply the form, the scale, the rotation, or the location, but I'm just going to do the scale, and I'm going to go to sculpt mode. Okay, this looks fairly nice, fairly good, but I want to do one more thing. So I'm going to cut it in half, and you know what? I'm going to make little cubes like this, and over here as well. So all little cubes. A thing that you can do now, just to make it look nicer, is select all these edges, if I can get a hold on them there. You can do this, drag this one down just a little bit and scale it in just a little bit. That way it will look a little bit cornered, but we don't want to do that. We just need these little cubes. So we go to sculpt mode. I'm also going to go first to object mode, tools, get a smooth shading on it. As you can see, it smoothed it out just a little bit, and then to sculpt mode. Now there's two ways to do this. We go to the scrape tool, and one way to do this is you just scrape some sides off, like so. So it looks a little bit different, but I personally, I don't like to use that tool. So I'm going to go to DIN topology, enable it, 12 is good. I don't want to symmetrize it. I don't want to use the symmetry, so I'm going to turn that off. And I'm going to go over this to get some smaller details in. Just going to do that really fast. I'm going to make this one a little bit more bulgy, round off. This one as well, and over here. So like that. I can optimize the smoothness, and as you can see, it doesn't look too smooth at the moment. That could be a problem, but you could also get this DIN topology smaller, like detailing, and that way it's going to look a lot nicer. So yeah, this is basically our brick. I'm going to put it a little gap in here, like so. That's going to be our brick. Now I'm going to go out of sculpting mode, back to object mode, and here we have it, one brick. Now you do need to keep in mind this brick has 2551 vertices, 5000 faces, so this is a fairly big brick in size. What I want to do now is, because this is going to take a lot of bricks to fill this out, is scale twice. Okay. Gonna drag it back on this corner, on this edge. I'm going to pull it in just a tiny bit more, like so. Okay, now the thing is, you should make a couple bricks like these, because if you go like this, you can see it's entirely the same brick. So S Y 180. No, not SY. Rotate Y 180. So now this one is upside down. I'm going to take these two, just going to duplicate them. Again, duplicate them. And this one, Shift D, I'm going to put it over here. Now the next line, let's say we want to have a wall. If you tile it like so, you want the wall to continue, and just doing like this, that's not going to look nice. See, this doesn't look nice. So what we're going to do is, we're going to take these, drag them out halfway, like so, and all of these we're going to drag up, like so. Whoops, did something wrong there. So like this, and now we need to get this bottom line all the way up there, like so. I'm going to delete these edges, these last tiles, because we don't need them. And I forgot. Yeah, that's the top layer. Why do we need to do that? Well, so the lighting, it comes down here and it can see, oh, there's another brick. If you don't do that, your faces, they will be cornered off at the edge. Same with these. Now it knows, okay, this is the middle, and I forgot to do something. This is your last brick. Yeah, so you need to make sure that this first brick looks exactly the same as that last one. So I need to R, Y, 180 that brick, and I'll have to do that on all these bricks. Another way that's a lot easier to do is just delete these, take the ones at the edge at the end, Shift D, and just drag them here. Shift D, drag it here. Okay, so we know that all these edges are the same, these are just duplicated. I'm going to take these, Shift D, and pull them underneath here. Okay, so we got that. I'm going to drag out this, even hide it. And I forgot to do something. Okay, so I'm going to select this one. I'm going to go to File, Export, .obj file, and we need to make sure we get selection only. We don't include the, we don't write the materials, we don't write the normals. We just need the obj file, the UVs, and these thingies. So select only, and then export. Now I'm going to drag this out. I'm going to go to wireframe mode, and I'm just going to select all of these. Now I'm going to press File, Export, .obj file. It's still selected, selection only, and this one is going to be HB, not Harry Potter, but high poly. This is a way that I do that. As you can see, it's loading in, it's loading the file. Okay, and now I need to go to my other screen. I didn't put the shortcut up yet. so I'm sorry that you guys see all of this. I've got my xnormals here, and I've got my files right here. I'm going to delete this one because we don't need it. We've got the HB and the low poly, so we go to high definition. I'm going to add in the high poly, low definition, low poly, and in baking options it depends on how big you want your wall to be. If you want it to have a lot of detail, you up the size, but make sure that if you up this size, you up that one to the same ratio. So 1024 and 1024, that should be a really big one. I'm going to do the normal maps, the height maps, and I think the ambient occlusion maps. Okay, so generate maps. File name, oh yeah, I need to give it a file name. I'm first going to put it on my desktop, and I'm going to call it just wall tutorial. There. Save and generate. As you can see, this is our normal map. This is our height map, and this computer is so fast. But yeah, this is our height map. And the last one is going to be our ambient occlusion map. Okay, so we've got these three maps. I can close this now, I can close that now, and I need to load in Unity. I just did that. In this one, I'm going to add in low poly. Whoops, the low poly, the walls, the wall images, I mean, and we don't need the high poly for doing this. I'm going to put them inside of our Unity thingy. I'm going to drag in our little wall over here. I want to reposition light. Okay, I don't need to. This is, I guess, our front side. So I'm going to give it create material. I'm going to call that wall 3D. Apparently just wall D, but yeah, wall 3D. I'm going to drag this on top of there. And as you can see, albedo, that's your basic color. It's on metallic at the moment. I want to have the standard specular option because we're not playing with metal at the moment. This one is our height map. The blue one is our normal map. And as you can see, there we go. Our little wall has been built. It looks quite the same all the way. Am I taking the wrong side? Yeah, so this one is our bad side. I'm going to drag this out for a second so we can see the difference. None. And the height map as well. None. Okay, so if we add in our normal map, which is the blue one, the first one, it looks like this. And you get this little message, this texture is not marked as a normal map. If you press fixed, you can see the wall looks a lot nicer. I will need to rearrange the angle of the camera, of the lighting. So there we go. So now, as you can see, our wall, it looks very good. At least I think it does look very good. We should have done that on both the sides, of course, not just one side. But yeah. I'm going to duplicate this. There we go. And I'm going to drag it out right here. So as you can see now, there's still this little corner thingy, but if you get another one, it kind of disappears. It's still there, but it kind of disappears. Once you have your texture on top of it, it's gone. I hope. So this one, I'm just going to leave it. This looks like a nice wall, normal mapped. Next step, the height map. So we know how far these thingies should stick out. If I increase, you can see it changes just a little bit of the texturing. I'm going to keep it at 0.2, no, 0.02, There. So that's our height map. And now the occlusion map is this one. And as you can see, it kind of looks better now. I am going to decrease the occlusion just a little bit, like so. This just adds in a little bit more detail. And now I should actually be opening Paint, GIMP or Photoshop, but I don't have that, so I'm going to open Paint. And I'm going to, because I want to do this really fast, I'm going to drag in my occlusion map. There we go. So I've got my occlusion map right here, and I want to give a little bit of color to our object. Trust me, this is not the way you should do this. This is actually a really bad way to do so. But yeah, I'm going to just paint in like a brownish color, and with GIMP this is going to look a lot better. But yeah, that's really tiny. Let's get a cube. Fill. Like so. It's really visible that I don't use Paint anymore. Normally this should fill up. Okay, so not this one, not that one. Okay, this one is a little bit bigger. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just painting over the entire object. Just going to do that really fast like this. You should have one even color, but I forgot to download GIMP, which I will do for the next tutorial. And you're going to save that PNG file, and instead of occlusion, I just changed the name to texture. Trust me, it will look very ugly. But yeah, it's for the tutorial. So over here the albedo, and we just have a wall with graffiti on top of it. So that's how you make a 3D wall. If you now, let's see, where's the camera? The camera is over there. That's too far away. Okay. Rotate, like so. And if I now press play, you can see that it looks like it's a 3D wall. And that's exactly what we wanted it to be. Let's take this one. Control C, Control V. Control C, Control V. Drag it up. Control C, Control V. Put it here. And if I now play, you can see it looks like one nicely looking wall. So yeah, that's this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone.